The bicycle chain, we know bikes.
Hi, I'm Bill at the Bicycle Chain Chapel Hill. Let's talk about chain maintenance. Aside from keeping air in your tires, maintaining your chain is one of the easiest ways to save a bunch of money. And the way you do that is you can clean and lube at the same time using this handy stuff, my dirty bottle of, this is Tri-Flow. But easy enough. Here we've got a chain that's got some wear, it's got some extra buildup. This customer is actually great about lubing their chain, maybe not so great about getting the excess off at the end, which is something that we can do, and I can show you how we can shine this up. So if you are at home, you'd want to just prop this up against the rear tire, and you can just backpedal and just run drops down the middle of this whole thing. Once you've gone all the way around, you can give the chain a minute to work that in. And it really just needs to get inside of these barrels, because that's where the movement is, the friction of the chain against itself. Everything else is pretty static. So then at that point, now you've got a coating of rust prevention and you've got lubrication inside of the chain. You really can't take too much of the excess off the outside, and you'll find it'll shine it up really good. I'm doing this backpedaling just because this is the way you might have to do it at home. We can do it real easy in these work stands, like this. You see it's getting a little shinier. You can just kind of shine it up. And by the time it's all, basically you can't do too much of this. Because this gets the stuff off, it picks up dirt and grime, and there's still going to be left a film on the outside of the chain that keeps everything from getting corroded. So that plus the lubrication on the inside of the chain is the real thing you're going for. If you can hear your chain, it's time to do that. For sure. Sound of a chain means friction, and that's the chain getting to eat itself with metal on metal friction. And then this is getting a lot better. You can just do this as often as it needs. If it lives outside, that'll have to happen a lot more often. And that was just that much effort. We could make it shinier if we wanted to. That'll save that over the long term. You don't have to buy as many chains. And chains are expensive, and chains wear out other parts. So keeping this in good shape keeps this in good shape, keeps this in good shape, and those are pricier parts. Here's a quick and easy way to tell if you've got a worn chain. And a worn chain does pretty quickly translate to worn rest of the drivetrain. So what we've got here, as we're moving this around, you can see that chain doing a little dance. And what that is the wear in these pivots. Each little chain pivot gets a little sloppy, and over this distance from here to here, everything doesn't really mesh and line up right. And if you hug it down, you can see daylight under here. They get worse than this. This isn't even particularly bad, but that extra movement, that's the average distance between these pins not being the same as the average distance between these teeth anymore. And that translates to removing material off the sides of these teeth and eventually buying chain, cassette, possibly chain ring. If you keep ahead of that with a good chain, save yourself a bunch. Two sure ways to check a chain. This is handy dandy chain wear gauge. This is the roll off. There's a lot of different versions of this. We really like this one here. This in a brand new chain will feed in about that far. And now we're seeing we've got a really worn chain, and there's room for that to fall in and move around. There's a long side and a short side. And generally when you've got to where you can dive in on both sides, you've really got some serious wear going on. The other way you can tell this is, not everybody knows, but these are exactly a 1/2 inch apart. And over the course of 12 inches, if you've got slop in all those pivots, you can line up at one end, right in there. You'll find that at the other end, at your number 12, you don't line up anymore. And that is lost material between here and here. Some of the metal used to be there and no longer is. Lubing the chain, cleaning the chain is actually a free service for any bike that comes from this shop. So if you get one from us, come by as often as you need. We can actually take care of this for you or show you how to take care of this yourself if you don't feel like coming by so often. Checking this stuff and assessing the wear of your chain is something we will do anytime for free. It's just part of assessment of a bicycle. So come by if you've got a question about how your bike's doing, and we'll give it a look and let you know.